Previously on Project IGI.
I'm Craig Charles and welcome to Takeshi's Castle. Join me for the next half hour as we search for lost teeth, lost balance, lost dignity and lost dogs. It's all coming up, apart from the dogs bit. I made that bit
up. Jones, I've been thinking this through. Praboi, on a train, being taken where? To who?
My money is on the voice that got me shot down.
Agreed. But Praboi on a train? Isn't that a strange way to transport someone?
Yeah, if Praboi's that important, well, why not use air transport or military convoy?
Exactly. Our mystery caller isn't so powerful.
I really believe that we're dealing with a small group, possibly rogue army officers, perhaps political extremists, but they're in a rush. They need to see Praboi fast. He's important to them. Sure, but why?
Well, he's the only link. For most of them, they want to know how big a threat we pose. Otherwise, Praboi would be dead. Not on a train.
You have to get Praboi back, gangster or not. He's the link from them to us. His train will be coming through this rail yard. It's used to store decommissioned missiles. Jones, you have to get aboard that train. These are your objectives. First, penetrate the rail yard perimeter. When the train arrives, get onto the train.
Remember, if there's a security alert, the train probably won't enter the base. We can't take that risk, so don't leave the alarms running. Get going, David. Good luck.
Hello and go fuck yourself. Hello and welcome back to Project IGI. We start off inside a watchtower. We're looking down on the base we actually have to assault, so let's make our way down. You may have guessed that I'm not happy. I hate this level and I hate you for making... Well, I don't hate you, I love you. But, anyway, which way do we go? Well, this way looks best. It's got a slope that leads down to the base itself. It seems pretty straightforward. The other way's off the edge of a cliff. But you'd be wrong, that's not the way we need to go. The entrance to the base is actually on this bridge, on the opposite side of the base we'd arrive at if we went down that sloped area. This level seems to really go out of its way just to make things that bit sort of forced and awkward. It's not very nice. Taking a peek at the map computer, it shows us that there's a fence running all the way around the perimeter of the base. The only way in is that bridge, so we're kind of stuck when it comes to options. It's a really only way in, at least the only way I've found. I've certainly played this level enough times to fucking know if there's any other way in. While there might not be many objectives here, you do actually maximise the amount of the base you have to walk across. We start at the bottom left of the map and make our way all the way to the top right and then back to the left again. Objective 1 is the equivalent of just turning off some cameras. Objective 2 is just going through a gate, and this area around here that I'm circling is where Objective 3 is. The main goal of this mission is to intercept the train which Praboi is on. It comes in from the east here. Unfortunately, it's not as simple as just going through the main gate at 2. We have to actually do some legwork. We've got a camera actually over there. You'd think we'd be able to disable that, but if we destroy the camera, it sets off the alarm. If we go anywhere near the camera, it pretty much sets off the alarm, and this watchtower has a bunch of guys in it with machine guns and all sorts of nasty things. So yeah, we want to stay away. We really want to hit objective number 1 first and turn off the security system. That's enough chit chat. Let's get on with actually playing the mission. Rather than going down the slope, we're going to go off the edge of this cliff. It's a lot shorter. If we take a look at the bridge, we can see that it's fenced off, so we can't jump over it and get into anywhere we shouldn't be able to from the beginning. Got some tunnels going into that mountainside. It's ringed with mines, so there's no way you're going to be climbing up the slope and jumping in that way. As much as I dislike this level, it does have one feature which I think is unique. I don't remember seeing it on any other levels. Over here on this mountain thingy, we've got an overhang. That's something you don't normally see on a height map generated terrain. Usually things come to a point like that, but this has sort of an outcropping-y thing. As I'd said, it's ringed with mines, so they really go out of their way to stop you from getting on top of it, but there you go. Weapon check time. We've got an M16, 3 grenades, 3 flashbangs, lovely, and oh, we start with a med syringe. That's never a good sign. The bridge has a watchtower at either end. The guys are particularly observant. through the fence, you can see the end point of the mission. This is where the train actually stops. If we hug the left hand side of the wall, that helps hide us from the other watchtower guy, so it's a good practice. If we look at the map, we're going to see the first problem that we have, and it is this jackass over here. Now the problem is that once he sees us, he runs for an alarm, and it's right over here on the side of this checkpoint. So what we're going to do is wait for him to get as far away from it as possible, and that'll give us plenty of time to take him out. I am a bad shot. I'm a great shot! Before we go any further, I'll just stop and point out the predicament that we're in. At the checkpoint you can see the alarm. Now if the guy had actually hit that, the machine gun nest over here would be manned by a guy. He's hiding behind the truck. You might be able to just see his foot. And that nest has a huge range. It'll take us out as far away as the checkpoint. Here's what happens when we do set off the alarm. Machine gun nest tearing our shit up. We've also attracted the attention of everyone else, but this also gives the opportunity to show off what the gimmick of the level is, and that is the alarm. If the alarm is on for more than 30 seconds, it's an automatic mission failure. See here that Preboy will not be arriving here. If we look at the map, you'd think that the best approach would be to just go straight east and walk up that way. But if we take a look at the surrounding area, we've got this train stand thing, we've got two guys patrolling on that, and there is an alarm near the guy at the rear part, and the guy at the end is the worst of them all. If you shoot the guy near him, he'll run for the alarm, and so it's just a huge kettle of fish, and you really want to try and avoid going up this way and spooking them. Anya tells us that the security camera control room is near the bridge, and she doesn't mean this bridge, she means that bridge way over there. It also doesn't help that we've got a guy with a sniper rifle up there. As soon as we pass this checkpoint line, he will become active. There we go. And he'll have his beady eye on us all the way through the level until we can get rid of him. Which is very difficult to do because we don't have a sniper rifle of our own, and it's very tricky to get close to him. He will be the single most important point in completing this level. He will dictate exactly where you go and what you do, and will probably be to blame for every failure you have. The map showed us that this yard of decoupled trains is pretty much up to its eyeballs in enemy soldiers. My normal approach before I figured out how to actually do this level was to just avoid going up the long way and head up north and take out guys as I went. That's still mostly what we're going to be doing right now. I'll let you know at the point at which my plan of action changed. Sniper guy's still taking pot shots. As long as we keep moving, we're generally okay. I'm missing a guy. Oh, there he is. You'll want to turn right at this junction. Guy in the watchtower jumped on his machine gun and he can really do you some damage, so avoid going that way. There's no real way to take him out easily unless you've got some kind of long range weapon. Huh, what's this? A door. Ammunition storage. This houses munitions and other weapons. Wee. Into the bunker, we've got two soldiers. Well, one of them is, and the other one is a reskin. He looks like a disgruntled mail worker more than anything else. Having a look around, doesn't appear to be anything else. There's no way out that way. Are you ready for some hot ammo action? Here it is. Some M16 grenades. Hardly worth the effort. Up in here, we've got a friend. Hello, sir. How are you? You look very old. He appears to be decommissioning rockets, or at least warheads. I think I'll let you live. For now. Back up again and going outside. Straight ahead of us and underneath that bridge is the security station where the controls are. Normally at this point I would just leg it straight ahead. The sniper rifle guy will be able to see us, but as I said before, if we keep moving he won't be able to hit us. But we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is, well, first of all we're going to go right to the front of the bunker. To the main door of it, and there doesn't appear to be any way to open it at all. Going inside this area, there's nothing inside, there's just some tables and things, but there's no switch to open it. Wonder how they got the missiles in. And do not go any further. Machine gun guy will tear you up. Who shot me there? Oh, it was you. I really should check my map more often. Right, let's get the correct plan back into action. Gonna backtrack all the way around here to near where the checkpoint was. If we follow this train track up, we've got a carriage here which we can go inside. Here's one way that it's done successfully. First up, you have to miss the person you're aiming for and randomly hit the guy behind him. That is the only reason why the alarm didn't get set off. This is one way to do it, and I used to do it this way as well, but I don't like it. It's if we open that door and look through, we can see one of the guys clearly, but the guy further back, which is the guy we want to get, he can be occluded sometimes, so we don't want to do that. Down here into the slope, I will show you what one of the problems are, and it's to do with the game's level of detail. The guy who's furthest away, when he gets up beside the switch, he basically disappears. He's not there anymore. The engine itself just doesn't render him. When they're far enough away, they reduce the animation, so they're just like static figures floating around, and eventually they just completely remove them entirely. And it's very difficult to take those guys out because they're all the way up there, and if you can see here, if I try to fire a grenade, and it's very difficult to judge, and the alarm gets set off anyway. So what is it that I actually do? Well, I do this. Out a flashbang, chuck that. I have no idea if these actually work, I just do it for good measure. And then fire grenades. There we go. And get the sniper as well. Efficient. Not the most subtle approach, I think you'll agree, but the game did give us 15 or 16 rifle grenades, so we might as well use them. Here's something we could have done if we, from the checkpoint, went right and ran up behind these containers. We can shoot things from there, but again they can see us quite clearly and they will just set off the alarm. Right, the worst of it's actually over now. I think in total I probably ran this level about 30 to 40 times trying to get a clean run of it, and most of the time it was dying trying to get rid of that sniper rifle guy. If you go straight for him, it'll spook the guys who are down below near the switch, so you have to take it in a very specific order. But now that it's done, we can actually get on with doing some objectives. Under the bridge is our destination. Even though we have the tools to take out the guys in the watchtower, we can't get through the gate just yet. We do have to disable that camera. You can see that there's a keypad there, and that's what we have to use to open the gate. Unfortunately, it takes a really fucking long time to do, and the camera will have spotted us and set off the alarm by that point. Before we head over to the building, however, we're going to take a look under the bridge at some gates. These are at the other end of the compound, and we can't open them ourselves, but if we ran around the fence to the other side, we can follow the track. That's going to take a while, so I guess we'll pass the time with a joke. This one comes from The Rat Says Squee. Two fish are in a tank. One looks at the other and says, "Alright, you drive, and I'll man the guns." Coming up towards the end of the track, we find it is in fact just the end of the track. Just unceremoniously drops off here. There's not really much else to see, so I guess we should head back. Quickly making an aside over to the other side of the tracks here, we can get up behind the guy who manned the machine gun nest. And we can see that he's holding a Glock 17, but he's cradling it like it's a much bigger weapon. Maybe he's overcompensating? Who knows? Well, we're done over here. Let's get over to the control building. There are two entrances in. We're closest to the rear entrance, but we're going to avoid that. We're going to make our way around under the bridge. Here, through the gap in the sandbags, and in this door. Through the window we can see an alarm. That's never a good sign. We need to just make sure no one ever gets to that. Barge our way in, and we've alerted this guy. We can quickly take him out. Even if we were to sneak in through the door, somehow this guy gets alerted. He's obviously running directly for the alarm. Quickly take out these guys. Quick check just to make sure no one's going to spawn behind. I'm fairly certain I remember someone doing this. Guess not. Get rid of him and oh, bad time to reload. Right, switch off the alarm. The thing is, we can, if the alarm gets set off, we can just turn it off again and it resets the timer. It's no big deal. At this point, it actually doesn't really matter at all. As long as we're somewhere near to an alarm, we can switch it off without having any trouble. The only real issue is that it alerts everyone, but we've killed everyone in the base anyway, so who cares? Here's the reason why I tend not to take the alternative way into this particular building. We really have to go and trigger that. What an arsehole. Objective complete. Let's get out of the building before respawning guys come and kick our ass. It also gives us the opportunity to watch the train arrive. It appears to be a train in 3 carriages, one of which holds Preboy. Which one? Who knows? Let's go find out. Train is scripted to only arrive whenever you switch off the cameras. It'll come trundling down the track, the gate will open for it, and it'll just slide on in. Up and over this dingy little bridge and then down into the main station. A brief peek at the camera shows that it's disabled. Right, time to make the main assault, I guess. The range on that thing is ridiculous. If we look down here, we might not be able to see it. No, we can't see it quite yet, just wait a moment. We can see that the gate to the compound is opened up for the train, meaning that we could probably get in behind it if we wanted to. And if we shoot this guy, something strange happens. The camera wakes up again. Because the camera has picked up that he's died and it's gone into a state where it's normally it would set off the alarm, but somehow in terms of game code it's just made it active again. Let's have a bash at chasing the train. Leg it alongside. Oh, I really need to be on the other side of this thing. And don't get too close. Alright, let's try that again. On the other side now, we're safely protected from gunfire by the train. And we can slip right on in. Unfortunately, because we haven't shot that guy and taken him out, he can just pepper us in the back and we'll end up dying just inches away from goal. Yeah, if we left the camera alone and didn't destroy it on our way down, it would pick us up whenever we start to unlock the gate. It'll be trying its damnedest to set off the alarm, but it's just not going to manage it. All the way back at the camera control room, when we turn off the cameras, even if we go to the alarm switch and start hammering at it, it makes no difference. That ship has sailed. We'll just unlock the gate. You can see it takes a really, really long time to unlock, and there's no feasible way you could possibly do it without the camera being set off. Going through, and over in the distance is a barracks, and when the train came into the station, 4 guys came running out of there, and they've lined themselves up along the train. If we shoot those guys, they'll just respawn, but there's a bit of a delay, so we've got some time to make our move. But before we get into that final assault, where would we be without some map glitches? I'd mentioned earlier that over at the tunnels, it's lined with mines, so there's no way we're going to be able to climb up there and get inside. Well, we don't even need to, because with a little bit of wiggling, we can crawl up the outside of this fence. There's a little notch here that's a bit... there we go. You can usually jump around that, but I tend to take it slow. Get up here and then drop onto the wall and onto the ground to avoid some falling damage, and we're inside. First port of call are the tunnels. Just wander along the track and they're just a great big black texture. Alright, well, there, all 3 of them are the same. We can't go inside or anything. But of course, if we try to pass the line of the mines, and if we transport ourselves over the other side of the wall, you can see on the map here we're south of the main base. We've gone all the way around the perimeter fence, and if we follow the line of mines, we then, for a very long trek, this is probably about 18 times speed, get all the way around the mountain and back where we started where the bridge is. So yeah, there's absolutely no way on top. They really don't want you up there. So let's get to the meat of this adventure and go under the bridge, and we'll deal with this first, and then we can leg it into this warehouse where there is absolutely nothing. Back out of that and over to the barracks, inside which there is absolutely nothing. Then we can, I don't know, go over to the tracks and jump around on those for a bit. Not much going on. We've got some boxes there, but there's nothing interesting about that. We head off to the watchtower, finally around at the gate, and then climb the ladder. We can shoot these fellows. Not sure what's going to set off the alarm here. I'm not sure if it was me or the dead bodies. I can't entirely be sure, but anyway, the alarm got set off and there's no actual alarm button here, which is probably a good thing because then the guards will be able to set it off. And there's a really good example of why you should be glad there's no alarm button over here. We're going to take the scenic route from the start of the level. We're going to go all the way along and down the slope. We're going to try and sneak past. Got some divots in the ground which we can sort of, well, trenches I suppose, we can sort of run along in. But it doesn't help that this guy ends up seeing you straight away. Let's try that again, and we'll try to go down a little bit earlier this time so we can avoid getting spotted by this chap. Down this slope and into the divot. Yeah, it seems that we did okay. But as soon as we come up this bit, we get spotted again. Well, If we follow it all the way around, eventually it leads to the bridge, so you can really see why I went the way I did at the start. Back to this part of the compound again. If we go to the gate from the other side and try and unlock it that way, we see we don't really have much better luck. Can't seem to see the keypad, but it is there. It's fairly obvious that we're never going to be able to manage this. So we shoot the camera and that instantly sets off the alarm. And as I'd said before, there's no alarm button around here to switch it off again, so we're pretty much fucked. All this basically says is that if you manage to sneak your way in here, there's no way you're getting out. Okay, now it's the moment of truth. Gonna take out the guys around the train, and then we're gonna leg it for the back and then make our way through the carriages. As I said before, whenever we kill the guys who are surrounding the train, they respawn, so we really need to be as quick as we can. Through that one. He's not here. Not the second one. Nope, not in that one either. And third time's the charm. Hooray, we got him! Before we complete the mission, however, we'll just have a look at another take of that. We're obviously chasing the train into the station. And we can get there when it arrives, and we can skip the first two carriages and go straight for the third one. Can't get in from behind, Prevo's on the other side of this door. We have to go in through this particular doorway. And that's that. Of course, you have to be careful when you're doing this sort of thing. You can inadvertently kill him. Well, that's that. Look at that handsome face. Oh, God. Right, time to put on my train driver cap and get the fuck out of here. I will see you next time.